Welcome to the Bait Boys Podcast, the podcast where nothing is square, everything is sticky, and the fish still don't care. My name is Jesse with Freek Baits Custom Fishing Lures, and as always, I am joined by my valiant co-hosts, Anthony from Lazy Baits Co. and Trevor from Peak Baits. Gentlemen, how are you this fine Thursday evening?
Good. How you doing?
Spectacular.
Valiantly
Any better, I'd be
well.
dead.
Good.
I don't know what that means.
That figures. But we're also, it's just a fun word to say, valiant. But we are also joined by a special guest this evening. We have Codie from Dork Fish Tackle. Codie, how are you this evening?
Pretty good. How are y'all? Oh, I guess y'all already said that, but yeah, I'm doing pretty good.
It's just the nice thing to say. I get it. I do that too. Don't worry about it. I'll probably do it a few times during this episode, so don't feel bad. But yeah, Toadie, see, look, I already took the embarrassment away from you by calling you Toadie. Codie is known for some very high-end handmade terminal tackle with Dork Fish Tackle, and we're going to be jumping into that in just a minute. But first, we have some announcements to make, and I'll kick it off from the Bait Boys perspective. This is episode 24. And if you've watched our previous episodes, you'll know that the last episode of we're off to a rough start, fellas. The last episode, Toadie, yeah, I'm sorry. The last episode of season 1 of the Bait Boys podcast is fast approaching, and that's next week, episode 25. And we finally figured out what we're doing for episode 25. It's just a short break, Codie. It's just a little break. I need a break. I know Anthony and Trevor did too, but I need a break. We will be taking about a month off, and that time we'll still be posting stuff. Don't worry. But back to episode 25. That's what I was wanting to talk about. We finally figured out what we're going to do for our season finale, and we are going to invite back a few of our past guests for a bait maker roundtable. So we've got a few things planned. We're going to bring back, how many was it? 4? Is that right?
I can't count. 4 or
We've
5.
got Dr. Glides, Matt from Gift Glides. We've got Eric from Versatile Baits, however you say that. We've got Michael from Sack Pig.
And
Austin from SOS, Slept On Sweat. Guys, maybe we shouldn't do this tonight. Austin from Slept On Swim Baits, SOS.
Let Trevor be the host tonight.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea because my words are not wordsing. But yeah, so we've got a lot of fun activities planned for that. So make sure you stay tuned. We're going to have a couple of giveaways, I think, during that as well. But the last episode of season 2 is going to be the next episode. And then we will kick off season
1.
I do that often. I was editing a past episode and realized I was saying season and episode, like switching the 2 words, and I just left it because who cares? The last episode of season 1 is episode 25, and then we'll kick off season 2 in early December. I know when we record the first one, and I'm not exactly sure what the air date for that would be, but yeah, early December. And we've got a really special guest lined up for that one. No spoilers, but yeah, big things coming in season 2.
I'm excited for this finale, man. Not for the break, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, I'm excited for the break too.
So I'm excited for the break, yeah.
But
I'm going to come back 20 pounds fatter just to prove a point. Not sure why, but
I don't know what point you're trying to prove, but hey, prove it.
I don't know, but I'll prove one.
You will. I believe in you.
I'll show you guys.
One last thing about season 2. We'll go ahead and let you all know this so you have time to prepare yourselves. We are going to take a little bit of a different cadence in season 2 so that we can bring you more high quality content outside of just the episodes themselves. The episodes will be airing once every other week. So we're going to go to every 2 weeks. We'll have an episode, but don't worry. In between, we're going to have some bonus videos, some how-to stuff, just a lot of extra content that you can watch that's, not hour and a half, 2 hours long, just some snippet stuff that you guys can hopefully enjoy. And that will fill those gaps in between, the gaps in your heart that are left by the Bait Boys podcast going to every 2 weeks. We decided that was the best route to go about it, especially with a lot of the things that we have planned for season 2. that it gives us a little more time to be a little more thoughtful in planning the episodes and editing the episodes, and gives us the opportunity to provide some bonus content in between. So I would love to say I'm going to miss doing this every week, but 25 episodes, I think, is my max. But the good news is the seasons will last twice as long.
That's a good point. Yeah.
So the seasons will last twice as long. Yeah.
Double
And you're
the
going to
fun.
you're going to get double the fun too, right? Like with extra content and all kinds of shenaniganery and tomfoolery to follow. So yeah, those are my two things
I
the
think
podcast.
it's going to be really cool. In between episodes, we're going to have more time to be like, I got this idea, and then end up creating more work for ourselves, but cooler stuff also. So yeah, I'm excited for that.
It'll be better for our viewers in the long run.
And us.
And us. And our mental health.
That's important.
That's always...
It is.
That's very important.
That wasn't
it's
a
one
joke.
of the most. It's one of the most important healths out of all of them. I told
I'm
Cody
not
before
disagreeing.
we
That's
started.
just a fun way to say it.
Cody before we started filming that he's not going to out idiot me, and he said that a challenge. I said if you're up for it, hey,
Yeah,
you got a bait and tackle shirt on too.
Yeah. Baiting season.
Sick.
Shout out Joe. But all right. Trevor, you have any announcements for the group, the audience, the universe?
Announcements? Like what's new? No.
Sure. Nope.
You're posting a lot of baits coming into Peak Baits. I see them behind you.
Those are yours. Some from Bob. Can I show over there?
Oh, that is so cool.
And then the wall over here. Just chipping away, getting things taken care of. Everything's going to be moving forward indefinitely in November. I know I had said October, but, things got delayed. Stuff on my end, like as far as like just the legal aspects, like behind the scenes to a small business stuff. You know what I mean? But other than that, everything is good. It's moving smooth. No complaints.
Oh, yeah.
Happy, stressed.
Stressed is good. That means things are working.
It's very good.
Also, only being a month off is pretty good for a bait maker in general.
Mm-hmm.
Like you say October and it's coming November, you're doing good.
Yeah. Pretty much
for
hit the
me,
bullseye.
it's like it's coming soon. 6 months later.
Yeah. Same. No. And that stuff, that little stuff that you don't necessarily think of going into it, and you kind of discover it along the way, that always takes longer than you think it's going to. So yeah, no worries there. We're all excited for you to open, but obviously we want you to be in a good position when you do it. Don't rush. Don't stress yourself out.
No.
It'll be there. You're doing.
Absolutely.
We're all excited, but take your time. What about you, Anthony? What do you got going on? New and exciting?
Not much. I don't even got anything going on really. Same old crap. Let's get right into this episode.
I did want to say one thing for Freak Baits. Those who've been watching have heard about this stupid mini glide for months now.
It's not stupid. It's one of my favorite baits.
Anyway, I am somewhat confident that within this episode airing, within a few, give me a week between this episode and the next one, I'm confident that I will have some available for purchase from my website.
They're going to be going
Finally.
fast.
That is exciting.
Finally. So yes. And hopefully by the time this episode goes up, but I'm not committing to that, but I can commit to before the next episode, before the finale, we'll have at least a handful of them available for purchase. So
I want to make a request, if I may.
yes, sir.
I really hope to see some lemon ice available.
Ooh, yeah.
I'm not going to lie. I'm really hoping to see it available.
Well, I mean, you never know, Trev. The Zach Finds Fish Fairy may show up and have a lemon ice or two available. Yeah, shout out to Zach. He's all his idea for that color scheme. He's like, can I get a chartreuse top and a white belly? I'm like, yeah, can I mess with that? And he said, sure. So yeah, it's kind of it was a collaboration on that.
I mean, even a variation of it, like a little extra ice or, garnish.
Garnish. Okay.
I'm
I'm sure we can make that.
Put an orange on top.
A lime peel?
Yeah. So if they're not available, I'm 90% sure I'll be able to have them available by the end of this week in the future. So yeah, that's my last thing. Anything else that we should announce? Let the peoples know?
No, I can't think of anything. I think we got it covered.
Perfect. Well, then it's time to talk about our giveaway for this week. We'll get to our guest just in a second, but it just so happens that our giveaway is coming from our guest. Dork Fish Tackle. Codie has been so generous as to offer up some of his wares for this week's giveaway. Codie, what are you putting on the table for our viewers and listeners this week?
So as of right now, I will add this. I guess I can call them chatterbaits now, since.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you can, yeah.
So yeah, I'll give away this one. It's got the V-lock hook on it. It's got a screw on it, so you can screw your plastics on.
Nice.
Chipless paint, a lot of thump, and a lot of, they last. And then as long as with that, whatever the winner gets, or, whenever whoever's decided, if they want like a football jig, or if they just want another chatterbait, swim jig, we'll, whatever their color of choice is, we'll put that together and send that out for them.
Awesome. So the chatterbait and their choice of a second jig from your lineup. That's great.
They are my favorite chatterbait. Can I say it? Are you sure?
Hey, those are your words, not mine.
They are my favorite bladed jigs.
Yeah. Let's just play it safe for
They
now
last.
until we're sure that copyright ran out.
They last literally the whole season, as long as a pike doesn't break your line. But that's going to be cool for whoever wins it. I've caught a lot of fish on that bait. Not that one specifically. Mine are all black and blue. That's my
I've caught a lot of
go-to.
fish on Codie's jigs as well. So
Yeah.
they should get in on this.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to win this giveaway from Dork Fish Tackle, all you have to do is go to the Bait Boys Podcast Instagram. It's at Bait Boys Podcast. There you will find a pinned post. And that pinned post will be a collaboration between Dork Fish Tackle and Bait Boys Podcast. And to enter, all you have to do is like the post, follow both Bait Boys Podcast and Dork Fish Tackle, and then tag as many people as you possibly can in the comments. Each tag equals one entry. And make sure that you are, I'm saying this again, I say it every time, but people are still doing it. Make sure that it is one comment per tag, because we are using a comment picker. If you put 15 tags in one comment, it will count as one entry. So make sure you're splitting those up. So tag as many people as you want to, unless your name is Anthony or Trevor and you are a co-host of this show, because you are not allowed to win the giveaways.
I didn't do that. That was Panda Trev.
Different Trev. Sorry. Yeah.
That's his employee.
I think Peak tagged Peak today.
Yeah. I mean, it's great for the engagement on the post, but yeah, if I have to redo the giveaway 3 times because it keeps picking you yahoos, I'm going to be very upset for a solid 30 seconds. But anyway, yeah, that's how you enter. And then we will run the entry period through this coming Friday. And then we will announce the winners on our Instagram story the following Saturday. All the details are in the description below as far as the dates and the steps and everything that you need to do. So don't miss out. These are some high quality jigs that we're talking about here. So make sure that you enter that giveaway, not just once, but as many times as you can. Tag your mom, tag your grandma, tag your uncle, tag your boss, tag your long lost relative. Tag your mom's friend if you have that kind of, yeah. Anyway, moving on.
Don't tag your weird uncle that nobody likes.
Yeah, leave him out of it.
Tag the other uncle.
Yeah, nobody wants to talk to the weird uncle. Wait, I am the weird uncle. Anyway, thank you, Codie, for being willing to sponsor this week's giveaway. We appreciate it very, very much. And from our giveaway to our guest, who is also Codie. Codie, thank you so much again for joining us this evening and agreeing to spend time with the three of us for the next little bit, trying to pick your brain and learn a little bit more about you. I know that Trevor and Anthony are both very familiar with you, and I'm familiar with like your content and your online presence, but you and I've never actually had a chance to talk before now. So I'm excited to get to know you a little bit better. But thank you again for coming on.
No, thanks for having me on. I've been a long-time listener, first-time guest. No, I do a lot of driving for work, and what better than to spend my time listening to podcasts versus listening to the same music over and over again.
That's fair.
It's a struggle.
That's fair. Well, we appreciate you choosing us out of all of the much better podcasts that are available.
No.
And yeah, I think you had a question of the week in one of our earlier episodes, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I had to engage.
But I know. Yeah.
It was
Yes,
the swim bait rod.
Thank you for those.
Oh yeah, it was the swim bait rod. Yeah, that one. That's right. No, it was a good question, but thank you for being here. Why don't you give our viewers and listeners, if they're not familiar with you, why don't you give them the quick intro as far as who you are and what you do?
Yeah. So my name's Codie with Dork Fish Tackle. I guess my main job would be I do private utility locating. Anything like public utilities won't mark. It's like we do private utility locating, and then we'll do concrete scanning. So say if they're ever doing any saw cutting or core drilling through the floors and they don't want to hit anything, they'll call us out, and we'll kind of map all the underground conduits and whatnot, and kind of prevents them from hitting stuff. So yeah, I mean, that takes up a lot of my time. Really, it's kind of cool because it's it's all about perception. In a way, it's like a fish finder for concrete. So you'll see like rebar, and then you'll see one little hump that that it breaks the pattern. You're like, oh, well, that's something, or or whatnot. And
there's a largemouth in that concrete.
Yeah. Yeah, I found one of those. Yeah, I have did a utility locate, and then we have like the ground penetrating radar. So we can scan into the dirt, 6-7 feet, depending on the soil. And I've actually scanned a grave sites before, and that's kind of weird.
Yeah,
it's
that's trippy.
Definitely weird.
Like on purpose, like you knew you knew that it was there, or you discovered it by accident.
Yeah. No, clients they were like, say they're redoing the roads or something. They've got these 1,000-pound pieces of equipment rolling over old graves, especially. That's what they're really kind of looking for. And and it's kind of weird to see a dead body down there.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, imagine.
It's so crazy what everyone's day jobs are that makes sense. Yeah, I penetrate the ground, find dead bodies in pipes.
Stuff.
But so what made you decide to get into to bait making?
So it was I always kind of like did fishing or fished. Growing up I was like a dock boy at a marina. So, rich people would keep their boats in this big dry stack, and then we'd have a big forklift that would come pick up the boat and put it on the lift, and then me and another guy would like push the boat into the slips, and they also had like a tackle store section there. So I was like always like, whether I really knew what was going on out there in the water, it was more of just like what I was hearing, and then I'd just always be talking to people about like, hey, a lot of people are using this bait. If you're looking for something, I'd recommend that. Or, what kind of fishing are you trying to do? And just kind of run down, and help out in the store and whatnot. I guess Dork Fish came about because whenever we were in Texas and Dallas, I got into throwing some buzz baits. And, at first I was not going to toot any horns. I was like Anthony over there. Didn't think buzz baits were worth nothing. And I got my first buzz bait bite, and I was like, oh, nothing like a topwater bite. I mean, nothing beats a topwater bite.
Mm-hmm.
And overall, I got into it because I lost so many buzz baits that I was like, well, I can just buy a mold and buy, the wires and the blades, and it's just going to be so much cheaper. Well, I counted all the molds today.
That's what we all say. It's got to be cheaper.
And yeah, I counted the molds, and currently I have 24 different molds. Each mold
definitely cheaper.
Yeah. Each mold costs about $50, so do the math, and it's definitely a little bit more expensive than just a couple buzz baits.
We'll have to figure out what that math is later on, as far as like how many buzz baits could you buy for that much money. But no, yeah,
heartbreaking.
We've all fell victim to that trap. I think most bait makers do. They're like, this has got to be cheaper if I do it myself.
I think we have a shirt on our merch site about that.
I thought it would be cheaper.
Yep. It was supposed to be cheaper or something.
Yeah. Turns into a full-blown
awesome.
hobby.
So what made you decide on specifically? Oh, sorry. Go ahead. What was that?
No, it's just like, yeah, it turns into a full-blown hobby.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then some. But what made you decide to stick with this terminal tackle? Like what, not just terminal tackle. Obviously, there's a lot of different, that came out wrong. You know what I mean? But like what made you decide to focus on terminal tackle alone?
I mean, I don't see myself as a Trevor or as an Anthony or as a Jesse. You know, I'm no artist when it comes to painting. It just kind of, it was the buzz baits. I was losing so many buzz baits in trees, and that's just kind of where it started. With the buzz baits, I think I bought like a football jig mold and a flipping jig mold. And, you know, as I started making them, I was like, oh, well, you know, I'll just start selling them. Like, I'm making them. Well, what's stopping me from just selling them? And then, you know, it's just like looking back, those jigs looked like crap.
Yeah.
All of our baits looked like crap at first.
You know,
yeah, but you were proud of them back then, weren't you? I know.
I thought they were just the, you know, the coolest thing. I thought I was like, oh, these look better than everything I've been seeing. You know, and now like looking, because I have had a couple, and really I just kind of give them away, you know, because they're not worth anything to me. I mean, there's paint in the eyes of the, you know, of the, where you put your line through, like how are you going to put your line through a bait with paint in the eyes? you know, like just like little things like that. And there was like 50 jigs like that. Like, looking back, I'm like, Codie, what were you thinking?
Yeah, but there's some mass-produced jigs that are like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, they invested a lot of money to make them, and they still do that.
Yeah, especially like small crappie jigs. I get those all the time if I just buy a big pack of them from Walmart or Bass Pro or something.
You can't even get the line through.
Yeah,
Exactly.
They have no problem selling them like that. So,
you know, like, I guess, like,
I'll say I'm no Codie, so I can't make any jigs like you, chatterbaits.
Same.
I can't tie anything. I bought the whole, I think you remember probably when I was buying all the stuff to tie like dress trebles. Dude,
Yeah,
I cannot even I can't even dress a treble right. Like that takes me a half hour, and it's like 2 feathers and some red yarn.
doing it in bed probably doesn't help either.
That's true. I was doing it in bed.
I would love to say I'm surprised by that.
That's where I mess with all my treble hooks. I put hooks on in bed. I was trying to dress them.
It's a great location.
It's the luxury of doing it in your own house, though. Why am I not going to be comfortable?
That's a fair point. But speaking of points, what happens if you drop one and can't find it?
Shut up. Get back to the guest.
Okay, fair enough. I think that answers that question. But Codie, let's take a second to just kind of step back to your day job, because I know a lot of us kind of struggle with the balance between what we do in our day job. You know, those of us who aren't full time, what do we do in our day job versus, you know, trying to sustain a small business on the side. And it sounds like your job is very involved, and probably, is it fair to say it takes up a lot of your time?
Yeah. I mean, it really, you know, I could do anywhere from like 1 to 3 jobs a day, just depending on the size of the job. I guess you could almost break it down to like miles walked sometimes. And there's definitely days where, you know, it's 5-10 miles a day. And especially coming home after something like that, it's like, I just want to sit on the couch. You know, I don't want to do anything. I don't want to just relax. I just want to be a potato, you know. I guess the cool thing with the jig, you know, with doing jigs and everything like that is if I am in the mood, I'll just, you know, a little $15, maybe $20 thing off, you know, a little Vice off Amazon, and I just, you know, we got a little coffee table, and I'll just be sitting there You're like, whatever, watching TV and tying jigs, or, you know, doing little things like adding split rings and blade, you know, all the little parts. I guess it doesn't take a lot to do it. You just gotta invest the time, you know, like you can consider it relaxing still, as long as you, which I enjoy doing it, but there's times I don't want to do it.
Same. There's times where it's just like, no.
So you just do it like when you feel like it, you know, like same thing, like putting hooks on in bed. Like I'm chilling, watching TV.
Yeah.
It's nothing, like, you know, like you're just like enjoying what you're doing.
Yeah.
Obviously,
like,
you can't pour lead on your coffee table.
No.
Though. Probably.
I have before, but you know, that wasn't good for the you know, the house at all.
But I seen when you make them, you got like, you do big runs of them, right? And then you'll kind of just like work off of those over time.
Yeah. So ideally I'll kind of have a lead pouring day where it's just a free day. I don't have nothing going on. I'll get, you know, maybe 5-6 molds ready to go, 50 hooks per mold. And I just, you know, boop, boop, put all the hooks in. Yeah, and just really kind of crank them out. I mean, you know, it probably takes 10 seconds for the lead to cool, and you can take the little pin out. So like where you put your weed guard, you know, you pull that out, and then you'll also have to like clamp off. Oh, I got this one too. This is a perfect example. So you'll have to like clamp that off, and a lot of times like you'll have to like sand that down, or like I'll file that down, and then this guy, I don't hook myself. Anyway, that one's been in there a while, but you just pop that out. And yeah, and then just reload the mold, and then pour more lead. I guess for me, it's just kind of nice. It's a pretty simple process. It's just a lot of repetition, and you know, in a time frame where like y'all are like spending, I don't know, 5-10 minutes painting a bait, maybe less. You know, I know y'all are pretty sufficient at it. You're just like,
no, I'm not at all. Trevor probably, but me, no.
But you know, like really, like start to end. I mean, besides like the painting process. So originally, I started out with ProTech. Nothing wrong with ProTech at all. You know, you heat your lead up, and then you dip it in, and it'll, you know, cure right to the lead right away. But then you have to go through the process of putting it in an oven, and it like maybe like, I think it's like 10-15 minutes, and then the paint will like harden even more. Eventually what I ended up doing was I bought like a little mini oven, and I would just stack like 20 of them at a time in the oven. But it was just kind of tricky because if you twitched the grate too much, then the jigs would stick together, and then it was just basically garbage. Like all that was not sellable. You know, I'm like, you could use it,
the
but
double head.
yeah. So eventually I got tired, and also with ProTech again, I'm ProTech. A lot of people use ProTech. They're good paint. They've been around for a really long time. But after like a lot of research, I switched over to Stardust. And what Stardust kind of did, and what I kind of took with like the durability, you know, like I think I've shown a video, maybe I should like share another video of doing it. Like I've taken a jig head, took a hammer, and wah, and like the only thing that would happen was the lead would just flatten. Like the paint wasn't chipping. Like there was no way to get this paint off.
More flexible, kind of.
Yeah, a whole lot more flexible.
And you don't have to bake it? Like the second round of baking? Like
the only thing you have to do is, this is, I guess, where, for me, making baits takes the longest, is you dip it, you know, you heat it, you dip it in, and then you got to keep on heating it. and you'll watch the paint, because when you first dip it, it's like super rough, real rough. And then you have to keep on heating it. And it might take, 30 seconds to a minute for the paint to fully smooth out. And I also just got to say, like, I don't give really any credit to myself. Everything was YouTube. There's a lot of different lead bait makers out there that they took the time to show you the process and how they did it. And, even as far as like modifying your molds, guys on Instagram that they're, that's the other, and same thing with the swim baits and, just the bait making community. I mean, there's definitely a couple of guys that don't want to share anything, which is fine. People are going to find out regardless. There's so many of us doing it. So many of us trying to sell baits. Like, all it takes is a little 1 + 1 = 2, and you're going to figure it out. And I think that's where the Stardust, it's just a YouTube. And I was like, that's pretty crazy. And then what I really like about Stardust is the eyes. So you'll see other guys with like Pro Tech and whatnot. They have to glue the eyes on each time. What I can do is, and I'll just like, I'm sure everyone does it too, but like, I'll just go on Amazon. Jesse already knows, like, he knows what this looks like.
I got tons of them. Mine never come in a nice box like that, though.
Oh, yeah.
Do your guys?
Fancy.
Mine are just
mine always come in a plastic bag.
Yeah, they're just like digging through them over time.
It'll be like flipping through them like cards.
Yeah. I'm like, how come I only have freaking one silver in this size? Like, where's the other one?
That's the worst.
It's like attached to my back or something.
Well, that's how, like, like how dogs have like 2 different eyes. Sometimes you'll just have a bait with 2 different eyes.
That's a good point. That's a good selling point. When you get to the end, you got to use them up.
Like, you don't want to throw them away.
This one's unique. Yeah.
It's the heterochromia bait.
With the Stardust though, what really, besides like being chipless and whatnot, I could take the eye with like the little tweezers that come with it, and you can push the eye into the paint, and the paint will, since it's so hot, you have to be careful, because if you press too long and too hard, the eyes is like, you might know, what are these eyes made of?
Usually plastic or resin.
So the eyes will pop on me. And the next thing you know, I have a cracked eye down the middle, which is fine.
Yeah, that's resin. Resin will do that.
But yeah, so you just have to like put it in, a good little press. You'll almost see like the paint curve over the eyes just a little bit, and it holds it so well. I mean, I think it holds it better than glue does.
Oh, awesome. Cool. Neat trick.
Yeah.
This is all stuff I didn't know.
I know nothing about making I have a singular jig mold. I've used it once and completely screwed it up. So I'm like, I'm going to set you to the side and come back to you later. But no, it's all good stuff. I have a question now that I know what this thing is. Do you use a fluid bed when you're?
I have them. I use them for the Pro Tech. I've done a little research with the Stardust. Since it's a heavier paint, you got to do some kind of like modification. I have no problem in a lot of these. I have a toothpick in it, so before each time I put my head in, or my jig head in, I'll shake it up real good, and then I just go down, swirl. It's the same thing. I mean, don't leave it in there really long. Just enough to get one good coat on, put it back on the heater. And then that's really all you need. Yeah, it's not
How do you
that.
get different colors?
So
like the baby bass.
Yeah. So
it's another one of my favorites. The black and blue and the baby bass.
Yeah, the baby bass. Those are what I've done is, so I like take the cup, trying to think with the baby bass. So I go with the camo green first. So I go in and especially when I'm doing multiple colors, I'll just quick little swirl and then that's it. Put it on the heater. And that's the thing with the baby basses is, like, instead of 30 seconds, they take a minute, 30 seconds, just because it's like every time you got to reheat that paint. So like I'll go in with like the green camo, then I'll take the white, I'll flip the jig over, grab a pinch, sprinkle that on the bottom, and then I'm trying to think, or maybe it was like white on the top, or I can't remember how. I'd have to look at the jig. But yeah, there's a lot of just sprinkling.
Okay.
I didn't know if it's like dip it at an angle or something, or like
That's also
use a brush.
Yeah. So sometimes, and that's kind of the hard part is, so because of doing stuff like that, I just took PVC, chop, put lids on them, and like, I know not to open this one, and I glued it shut.
Smart.
So, like bring it to the side. Let's see. We'll just take this, and then I'll come in, do like a little angle right there, and then that'll get like that portion of the head. And then, I'll come in and do like, so you can do it a couple of different ways. I guess it's all just on what's working for you, or like what kind of mood I'm in, trying to finesse the painting scheme. Yeah, that's kind of painting.
Oh.
See, y'all have different colors, different stencils. I just have one color, or maybe three. A little this, a little that, and I'm done.
I prefer your way.
Yeah.
Approach.
Yeah, but I would end up with that thing of dust on my lap
Oh,
and
100%.
burnt fingers. Like, that's why I've never tried it. I've had people ask me, like, why don't you try making lead or this and that? And I'm like, no, I don't want to hurt
No.
myself. I don't think I can do it. Like, I'm all right.
That's like
I'll buy him from Codie when I need him.
Trade.
Or trade, whatever.
What was that? I feel like that was probably, I don't know. At one point, I'd see all y'all making the swim baits and stuff, and I feel like they've gotten maybe a little cheaper since back when I started making baits, like almost 3 years ago. But I was like, dude, I've spent how much money on all this stuff? As much as I would love to buy y'all's baits, like, would you want to trade baits?
Oh, yeah.
You
Same,
know?
man. Like, every spare dollar I have goes back into it. So it's,
Right.
yeah, I get it.
I can't afford my own baits.
Same.
And they're not
Yeah.
even expensive. Like, they're expensive, but not expensive compared to like some of the market. But yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I'm cool with trades. I like that. We were doing that last year. You were doing it with a lot of people. You got a bunch of nice swim baits last year.
I was trying to got addicted to the swim baits. And I would fish with them. I mean, a lot were just like, I just wanted to collect them. I mean, I wanted to have everyone's art. Occasionally I'd take them out and fish, but especially with the pike, like, I don't want to ruin that paint job. Those pike are just going to tear that. Not really. I mean, like, especially like Anthony's and Trevor's. I haven't tried yours yet, Jesse, but I mean, I've had a lot of fish on some of these baits, and the paint's not. It's besides the point. I just want to keep them perfect and
Give some character.
a nice decoration.
I think you could.
I like beating
will
the crap out of them.
Yeah, he does. I will say from my perspective, though, side note, if I could interest you in a mini glide, I'm definitely down to do some trading if you ever want to do that. But
yeah, always down.
From a bait maker, like, if I see one of my baits and it's been chewed up and the paint is just destroyed on it, I'm as happy as can be. Like, because I know it got put to work. As long as I got the pictures of the catches, then I'm happy. Like, I have no issues with seeing my bait hanging out of a fish's mouth looking like it's been through World War III. Like, that's actually really an awesome thought for me. I've not gotten to that point yet, but we're getting there. But yeah, so don't, if you do want a mini glide, I'll be happy to send you one. But
it'll be used.
Please.
I'm still trying to get Anthony to make me some bass baits, or the sleeper. Or no, which one was it?
It's gone. The sleepy shad.
No, it can't be.
Yeah.
This guy literally
It's gone.
makes his own molds
Listen,
all the time.
we're not going to talk about no sleepy shad talk.
No, all right. Let it go. I do have some. I have some that are used.
I'll
I
take 'em.
probably have like. All right, we'll talk. I'll give them to you. I have some like original ones when they were still wood, and I should like refurbish them. They look like crap, but now I feel like I could like cut the crappy tail off, clean them up a little bit, and maybe paint them, and they'd be kind of cool. I should go in my garage and find all of them, gather them. But I do have some resin ones, but yeah, someone else is making the Sleepy Shad now. But I've made another glide, and I think you'll like it for pike. I just have to finish it. I started it like freaking 6 months ago, and I thought I had it perfect, and the more I fished it, the less perfect it seemed. And then it, got backburnered. The Sleepy Shad was nice, though. That thing had a nice glide to it.
Really did. Yeah, I was pretty devastated when I lost that bass Sleepy Shad. I caught a really nice fish on it, and I was like, all right, like, let's go. Keep on fishing it. And then it was like the next fish, and I don't know if it might have just have been time. Like, I set the heck out of that hook, and next thing I knew, I saw a head, Sleepy Shad head flying. Like, it was pretty disasterful. I was very, very sad. And it was a nice fish too.
Dude, if I go on my featured catches on my website, I always see, I think yours is like the link picture with that pike from last year. Dude, it's like the size of me. And then there's a bunch of them that size. Get this man a mini glide, Jesse. He will hang some giant pike off of it.
Okay. It's sold. No problem.
If you want to keep talking just tackle, I can keep on rambling if you want.
I mean, well, let's. I would love for you to keep on rambling about tackle, but I do have a question regarding tackle and your experience and your process and stuff like that. Is there anything that you find to be the most difficult aspect of making terminal tackle? Like, what do you not necessarily struggle with, but what's the most challenging point of it for you?
It's challenging. I would have to say it's, I guess if you really want to get down to it, it's kind of like tying skirts isn't really the easiest when you first start out. There's a lot of bobbling of, getting at least the way I do it, I'll hand tie each one with thread, and then I'll take a wire and then I'll wrap it like that, just because I was tired of skirts falling off. But you just got to get used to, like, okay, you got to spread I can't even think what these things are called. The skirt, the skirt material. You kind of have to, like, spread it out nice and evenly on the thread, and then, like, how you wrap it can really, add more material here, or maybe you got a couple strands here, but everything else around is filled. And I know a lot of people, especially with lead, they struggle with when they're pouring, like, it doesn't pour completely. So you might have the head all the way completely filled up, but, like, your collar, you might be missing a collar. And a lot of that's just, it's practice. And it's what I'll do is so say I have my lead pot right here, and before I start pouring, I'll put the mold right on top of the lead pot so that this is pretty hot to the touch. Like, if I'm fumbling hooks, I'm trying to be really quick, so getting them into place. But the hotter this mold gets, it'll keep the lead hotter, and then the lead will seep all the way through where it needs to go. That's probably
makes sense.
Like on Facebook and whatnot, I see a lot of people struggling with that. And it's just you got to keep the molds hot. I've seen some people have, like, hot plates, especially if they're going to do, like, several different molds, and they don't want to, like, wait for the heat up process. They'll just have, like, a hot plate, have all their molds stacked up, and then they're ready to go whenever they want to switch a different style.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
It makes sense, though. I mean, most of them are made out of aluminum, so aluminum just conducts heat away from that stuff so fast, which is part of the good thing. But that's what happened whenever I tried to pour some. I had no experience, and I didn't look up anything. I just put the hooks in there and tried to pour lead in it, and most of them didn't turn out. So that makes sense, though. It's like, heat up the mold, idiot. Any other tips or tricks or anything like that for our viewers who may be trying to do the same thing and struggling with it?
So with the hook eyes, the way, I was just explaining about how, like, all my hook eyes were they're painted. So I think I can't even remember his name right off the top of my head, but he was taking heat shrink tubing and he would chop up a whole bunch of little pieces, and the lead would still be so hot and the hook would still be so hot. You just put the heat shrink tubing over top of the eyelet and then maybe put it over the heat one more, like just for 2 seconds, just to kind of really seal it in. And then you do that before you do the painting process. And that'll always keep paint out of your eyes. Honestly, I feel like that's one of the most important steps that someone getting into it needs to take. I mean, no one wants to buy a bait with paint in its eyes. Like, what do you, for one, it's like, okay, you say you have the bait with paint in its eyes. Well, as soon as especially with ProTech, but as soon as you break that paint, it completely destroys the whole structure of it, and like that jig's just gonna chip so much easier.
When you say put it over the heat, what do you have? What are you sitting in front of a blowtorch?
I'll take I still have my Harbor Freight one. I don't like it because I don't think it gets hot enough for what I need. I don't know if y'all have, I mean, I feel like Ace Hardware's everywhere, but so I had a heat gun from Ace, and it had like a dial and you could crank that sucker. Unfortunately, a piece of lead dropped into that. A couple sparks went flying and she got fried. Yeah. So that's
back to Harbor Freight, huh?
I need to go back to Ace, but I really like that heat gun. That heat gun was a really good heat gun. It lasted me a really long time until lead got in it.
Yeah. Maybe do it at an angle.
I just picture sweating doing this.
I sweat with just using my little, I got like a glorified hair dryer, but it doesn't have a handle. It's just like, I'm not going to say what shape it is. And it does not get nearly that hot. I just use it to like heat set paint and stuff like that, like acrylic paint. And I start sweating after a little while from running that thing because I can't imagine having like a full blown heat gun.
That's true. I got the hair dryer on the counter when I'm working. Sometimes when I turn it on, I start getting all sweaty. Oh,
yeah, definitely want to have a little air circulation.
You can't be soft like us and get into the lead business, into the jig business. Doesn't sound like
Codie's a man's man.
He's a man's man. You can tell by his beard.
I ain't no soft hands here.
No, well, go ahead.
Oh yeah, no, just one other thing is, so I got into modifying the molds, and by doing this, like you can't buy, so I really do like this swim jig, bladed jig. By doing that, you have to modify the mold, and you want to talk about, again, I mean, this mold's only like $50, but you screw it up and literally it's just $50 down the drain. You got to order another one, production stops and whatever. But I ended up buying, just like one of these little germal kits, and it's like surgery. Maybe not Hunlure surgery, but it feels like surgery.
Shout out Victor. No, that can't be. That has to be sweat inducing on its own. Trying to hand Dremel modifications into a bait that if you
it's like your handle, if you're not putting enough pressure, your hand will slip off, and then you have like
we were doing so well. I'm not going to finish that statement though, because every time I have, it's disconnected you. So it must be something in the atmosphere. So we're just going to move on to the next thing here, and nobody needs to hear me talk more anyway. So I hear there's quite the story about your PB pike that we would like to hear. So I just did some pike fishing earlier this year for the first time ever, and it was amazing up in Canada. And so I'm interested to hear this story. So fire away.
Yeah, no, really, I would have probably never been catching any of these pike if it wasn't for one of my buddies. He kind of like took me in under his wing and showed me the loops to all this. So shout out to him. It was honestly, I don't know if there's been another recent PB. Sometimes we measure, sometimes there's a certain like period during August where it's just go fish after fish. Yeah, it was one of those days, and I had Anthony's Whopper Plopper that day, and really wasn't even like expecting much of it. Nothing like, not against the Whopper Plopper, but it's just like, top water. Haven't really had a lot of luck throwing top water for pike, and I was just finding pockets and weeds. I was burning it through. Next thing you know, it's just this big old splash comes and grabs it. And it did, at the end of it, it did end up bending one of the hooks out. I was really, really happy to get that sucker in the net. That was a big fish, and, we measured it, and it's just, whew. At some point, like a 38 and a 39, they look like the same kind of fish. So when you see the fish, you're like, well, that's a big fish. I don't know if it's that fish. And then you put it on the scale, and you're like, oh, that is a big fish.
39?
Yeah.
Man,
That's insane.
well, my PB is 28, so.
Well. No, I don't know what it is about. We're fishing like the Winnebago system up here in Wisconsin, and I don't know what it is about, the certain area, but, well, I mean, a lot of perch and bluegill and all the bait fish will be tucked up in this area. But yeah, a lot of big fish come swimming by, and, especially, like it's like that August time. You could have, a 20 plus fish day, 10 of them, 15 of them are 30 plus inches, and then the rest of them are at least 35 plus.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man, that's a big fish. But so
Dude, wait,
go ahead.
unrelated to the PB, but you posted a video where you got a hook in your hand and just totally ripped that thing out. Yeah. Dude, I'm like, my God. It was like, it was in there. And it was just like,
it was, yeah, it was definitely.
He said, I had no choice.
I didn't. It's, sometimes with the fish, I'll, if they're flopping too much in the net, and what we've also recently done is we invested in, because we're also musky fishing now too, a lot more, but, I don't know. It's like, why not? I mean, some of these fish that we're catching, they're still big fish, or, they are big fish, and why are we putting them in like a medium sized net? It's just like for the fish, give them more room to swim. It's a lot more room for us to, take the bait out, leave them. It's really more about just leaving the fish in the water longer. But yeah, that was a big whopper popper, and got me good. And sometimes like I'll smack them in the head if they're flopping too much. And he flopped real good, hooked me. All I could think about is just, I need to get this hook out now before this fish digs it in me now.
Do you regret that decision at this point?
No.
I'm not seeing the video.
No, it's
I don't know how much damage it caused.
No, you just got to get like, and it wasn't like that. I mean, like the barbs are definitely in, but it wasn't like curled up in or nothing. It was just, it was a good one. I pulled it once. I was like, oh, I was like, all right.
While you still had the fish in your hand?
Yeah, fish was dangling off my hand. Yeah.
I've never caught a pike. I feel like it's a violent experience.
Mm-hmm. Even the little ones are violent.
Really?
I can't imagine what a 39 incher would be like. Yeah.
But I can't catch a muskie, so it's just pickerel. They're fun and slimy, but not quite that violent.
Yeah, they'll. I guess like the big thing for me is, especially like the big ones, when you get your hand up in there, like you just gotta pinch, and they're gonna squirm. You just gotta pinch and hold on, because the last thing you want to do is like have that fish flop around in the boat, mouth wide open. Not that I've been bit before, but I don't want to get bit. I don't need a pike shark bite on my.
Mm-hmm. And they'll tear you open, right? I saw that video Tom posted from Saddle Tramp, and I think it was his buddy, and the fish just like shook its head like very I don't even think it was that like crazy, but I just don't think the guy was probably expecting it. And it looked like it tore his hand up, right? You saw that, Trev?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He had
like
to go
it
to the
ripped his
emergency
whole
room.
hand open.
I saw one video, and this older fella, he goes up, gets his hand in the lip, fish shakes. I would say it was shaking really good. Well, next thing you know, his whole hand is through
seen
the
that.
gill plate and through his
What?
mouth.
What?
Yeah, coming out of his mouth.
I was freaking out for him. All I know is that fish would have been fried officially
Oh, yeah.
because he's not going back in the water. He's dead. I would have had to you would have had to literally have cut his jaw open to get your hand out.
Yeah, I saw that. And he's like, he's got me. He's got me. Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna have to look that up.
It's a big fish too. I mean, if you can fit your whole fist through the gill plate and out the mouth, like that's, you can imagine how big the fish is. But that looked like it hurt.
Oof.
No good. But speaking of northern fishing, I'm assuming in your area ice fishing is pretty popular.
Oh yeah.
Do you do a lot of ice fishing? Oh yeah. There's the gear behind you. Do you have any ice fishing tips for those who are thinking about getting on the hard water this year?
I guess, so I've only been doing it I think this will be my third season. I love ice fishing. Never stepped on ice before in my life before coming up here. Me and the buddy went out, and I'm just shaking in my boots, just scared. Scared to walk, scared to, I was literally, I don't know, I might have been 20 yards behind him, making sure I walked the same footsteps as he did. So, I wouldn't even potentially fall through. But I guess the biggest thing is it's just safety. If you're going to ice fish, you really need to take all the safety precautions you have. Like these bibs right here, they're really very warm. And that's also what we say is you're not going to have fun ice fishing if you're cold, you're hungry, or you're thirsty. If you're any one of those things, you're not going to have a good time.
Not going to have a good time doing anything.
Yeah, true. But so, especially like something you're trying to enjoy and you're already freezing. But with those bibs, they're flotation bibs, or that's a flotation jacket. And I also have a pair of flotation bibs. So for whatever reason, I do fall through, which we have. Luckily, it's only like 2-3 feet. But, say you're in 8-9 feet of water, you're not going to just sink like a rock. These bibs are really they're basically like life jackets for your whole body.
It's a good idea.
Yeah. On top of that, spud bar. You're going to want a spud bar. It's like a big metal rod as you're walking, especially early ice or late ice. You're going to, really, as hard as you can, try to break the ice. It's kind of like, why would you want to break the ice? But if you can break the ice with your spud bar, no bueno. Walk back. If you're trying to get to a certain spot, maybe you can go around that soft spot in the ice. But we'll typically continue walking after 2 hits. If I can hit the same spot twice as hard as I can and I'm not breaking the ice, it's safe ice. Ideally, whenever we're like setting up the shack, if we can find a spot where it takes 3 hits to break through, that would be the most ideal spot, because once you're inside your shack, you're going to set up the heater, just the body, like the ice is going to start melting away. Not drastically, but, that 3 hits, or, that the 2 hits could turn into a 1-hit spot really quickly. Again, not really quickly, but over time, like while you're there in that spot.
If you're going to spend all day out there with the heater going, that makes sense. You're going to lose a couple of inches of ice at least, probably.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, maybe not a couple of.
A little bit.
I live in Missouri. The ice only gets about 3 inches thick here, so it's on a really bad, like the dead middle of the cold spell. Like that's as thick as it gets. So there is no ice fishing in Missouri, but. So I know nothing. Don't listen to me.
Huh, Trevor? I said 3 inches is a lot, huh?
We're talking ice, right?
Talking ice. That's all you could ever need. Cool.
Yeah, it's really just safety.
Pray for 3 inches.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So safety's key. Safety's the thing you should be focused on, and then the baits and the techniques come later. That's it.
Yeah,
As long as
I
you got the
mean,
safety dialed in.
the cool thing is with ice fishing is there'll literally be communities of shacks set up. So if you don't know where the fish are, go where everyone's fishing, because everyone literally fishes 10 feet apart from each other. And it's fine, you know,
So you each got your own hole.
as long as you're in your own hole.
Is it is it just because there's not much action going on under the water that like they'll just find whatever you're fishing with and eat it?
So there's a lot of like hole hopping. I mean, you got to think these fish are, regardless, they're moving all the time. You know, bait fish are going to move in and out depending on, you know, whatever they, you know, maybe there's a warm front and they want to get up a little bit shallower. So they're, you know, so like the bait fish are going to move shallow and then all the other fish are going to move shallow. You know, there's a lot of just, you know, I have the live scope. So like we'll drill a hole, we'll look around. If we don't see anything, we'll pack up and we'll move another 50 yards, drill a hole, look around, see if there's anything at all. And, you know, eventually you might find a school of fish, you know, perch or bluegill or whatever. And, you know, you'll try to like gauge like, okay, you know, let's go out like 20 feet and drill another hole. Well, also by the time you drill that hole, all that noise up top, the fish swim away. So it's like cat and mouse trying to catch these fish, and eventually you're going to Swiss cheese the lake and you'll have all the holes wide open.
Yeah, lots of options that way, right?
Oh yeah.
Eventually you'll scare them back to that original hole and you can just drop in that one.
Yep.
So next thing I want to talk about is this boat project you've got going on. Can you tell us a little bit about that and where you're at with it?
Yeah, so she is the only thing. I just literally, we'll call it 2 hours ago, finished up the wiring. It was one for wiring the boat and 0 for Codie, and I got that sucker done and I won the round. You know, it's just wiring a boat trailer, but boy, can it be tedious. But yeah, the boat was just there was nothing wrong with the boat in the first place. I just kind of like to make things better, especially you know, pike fishing and muskie fishing. Having that deck that I built, you know, I can really get into that figure 8 a lot easier that way, being taller up. You know, I added more storage. There's a lot of YouTubing. A lot of YouTubing. I mean, you think I YouTube for bait making? No, I really YouTubed trying to build this boat. Yeah, epoxy and fiberglass is no joke. It's itchy, very itchy, and it's not cheap. So any little mistake was costly, or, you know, backtracked me a whole lot more. But yeah, I mean, really, it's just been fun. Dad, you know, I'd bounce ideas off Dad. You know, I'd be like, hey, you know, check out the boat. And he would look at it and be like, all right, so, you know, I'm doing this, and this. You know, thinking about that. What do you think? And, you know, he'll be like, well, I like that, and that, but maybe change this. So, you know, he was kind of like my idea bouncer. You know, it would be like, hey, you know, step on the deck. Do you kind of feel like it's squishy? Because I feel like I can feel like it's squishy. You know, he would get on, yeah, I'd probably add one more layer. And I'm like, oh, yeah, you're probably right, but all right, I'll add another layer. Yeah, a lot of geometry, cutting, trying to figure out shapes. Good thing is you can buy like epoxy filler, and if it's not a perfect cut, you just fill it in.
It's cool
No one
though,
will
because
ever
it's
know.
very, very purpose built to exactly your style of fishing, which is like, I mean, I guess if you spent like $80,000 on a boat, you probably get one like that. But yeah, like to, because it's like a V-hull, right, in the front.
Yeah, well, it's like a 15.5-foot fiberglass boat, and it's, I don't know, I mean, unless we're going out on Winnebago, I mean, yeah, you'd want a little bit bigger of a boat, but all these little lakes or mid-sized lakes, you know, pick your days like you should anyways, just boat safety, but it just gets the job done. And it's, you know, it kind of makes it a little bit more sentimental, and Yeah, I've always kind of wanted to learn about fiberglassing and boat building. So now, not that I should or have the space to buy another one, but I would sure love to buy another project.
You're
Yeah.
that guy, huh?
Maybe
wrong
I
with
could
that.
flip it.
I want to do a John boat build, like the tiny boats. Those are so
Yeah.
cool because the lakes where we are, there's only like 2 big lakes you could put like a bigger boat on, but everything around here is trolling motor only. And like there's some decent lakes, but they're just trolling motor only. So if you just had like a nice John boat decked out, just nice trolling motor, and some of the lakes are decent, yeah, I feel like it'd be really cool. And I love LED lights. I'd have LED lights everywhere. Just freaking dance party, like
On your John boat.
on my little John boat. But some
That
people
is,
make really cool ones.
Oh, they do, like really, really nice John boats, and I still have the other John boat, well, or my one John boat, and me and Dad are bouncing off of like, do we turn this into like a duck hunting boat? Like I use that boat for like carp shooting. How can we kind of? Oh, hey, well, you got to drive up here first.
All right.
There's a free boat in
this week. This weekend I'm busy. I can't do this.
Oh yeah, me too.
I screwed this whole weekend up. I didn't know I had planned on I knew I agreed to go out with my buddy on a fishing charter, but I didn't know the date, even though he told me. You know what I mean? So then my wife made a bunch of plans, and then he texted me yesterday and was like, so we're going to have to leave at 4:45, whatever, blah, blah, blah. This is how much. And I'm like, wait, what day? And he's like, Sunday. And I'm like, oh my God, we have all these plans Sunday. I worked it out though. So I'll be up next Saturday for the John boat. I'll see you.
Nice. Okay. Yeah.
Text me the address.
I don't know. I might be busy that day too. I'll double check. I'll let you know.
Don't call me. I'll call you.
Yeah.
Nice try, though, Anthony. Awesome. Well, it is time for the trivia round. And you've watched the show before, so you know where we're headed with this. It's not real trivia. We just got a couple of questions we want to ask you that can tell you a lot about a person. So, Codie, my first question for you is, what is your favorite lure of all time and why? And don't say Cinco.
No, I could care less about soft plastics.
There we go.
Honestly, I have to go the chatterbait. I'm sorry. You're not going to take it out of my hand. That's all I use for pike fishing. I know just in general I know it's produced fish. I think it is one of the top producing baits out there. Yeah, I feel like my bait, kind of, competes with all the others. And yeah, I love throwing the chatterbait. It feels great on your hands. Wobble, wobble, wobble. The nice thump and it catches fish. I mean, if you need to catch a fish, you throw a chatterbait.
Yeah. I never fished with a chatterbait, or never tried to fish consistently with a chatterbait before I went to Canada this year. No, I'm not. I've learned. I'm converted now. Because when I went to Canada, they said throw a white spinnerbait, and I had like 3 white spinnerbaits, and I was catching some pike and some, smallmouth and largemouth on it, and it was doing pretty well, but I ended up losing all 3 of them. And the only white type of wire bait that I had left was a chatterbait. I'm like, well, I guess I'll try this. I threw that thing on, and it was getting smoked left and right. And then I finally lost it, so I switched to a black chatterbait because I had one of those too. It was the only 2 I had, and still didn't matter if it was white. It was getting smoked left and right. All species were hitting it, especially the pike. And so I am converted, especially when it comes to pike fishing and fishing up in Canada. I'm like, I will have all the bladed jigs possible whenever I go up there the next time. So I'm going to be hitting you up, Codie, for the next year, because I'm converted. I see the light now, and I am a fan.
One thing I'll add real quick, got to run a wire leader. Those pike are going to take every single one of those baits. You got to run a wire leader. It doesn't affect it. I have a wire leader on every single one of my rods with the chatterbait.
See, I know that now. Did not know that going into it. That was not something. And honestly, I only lost one on a fish. The rest of them I threw into trees. So, yeah.
That'll do it.
But yes, next time I will be taking wire leader.
That's a good point with the wire leader, because I remember some nights fishing the black and blue chatterbait and in a lake with big pickerel, and I'd feel like a little thump, and before I could even set the hook, bait is just gone. Just line is just sheared off. Like, my God. Yeah,
they just inhale it.
They must just inhale it like instantly.
Yeah. It's a great bait though. Good choice. Good choice. My next question is, what is a fun fact about you that your followers would not ever guess in a million years? It can be fishing or non-fishing related, whatever works for this scenario.
I made a short list. I couldn't really decide on one fun fact.
That's fine. Read them off. We'll take
So I've got he's at mom's now. He used to be an indoor pet, but I have a potbelly pig.
Oh, God.
His name was Boomer for Oklahoma Sooners. He was a cute little guy. And then he just kind of turned a little sour. And when you turn sour, you get to stay outside. So now he's at the farm, and I would say he's as happy as can be.
My wife wants a pig so bad. And there's one exotic pet place we go to, and they have pigs. And every time we've went there like twice, both times we left fighting because I said no to a pig, and she's like, it's just like a cat, and I'm like, I don't want the cats either. Like, I don't want the cats, and I definitely don't want a pig. I'd tell her what you're saying about them, but it wouldn't change her mind on it. She really wants a pig.
Not.
She really wants one.
I want a pig too, but so I can turn it into bacon later. That's the only reason.
Yeah. And some ribs.
A baconator?
I'd have to get
here we
too
go.
Then, but yeah.
Here we go. We made it an hour and a half before I got hungry, so that's pretty good.
That may be a record.
Yeah, I want a raccoon. That'd be fun.
I have heard horror stories. The Instagram videos make it look a lot more fun than it actually is, from what I understand. I know somebody whose mother used to have one, and it caused problems.
Jeez.
I heard skunks were good.
Oh, yeah.
No, I did. I think my mother-in-law had a skunk growing up, and it was just like a cat or a dog. Still, I don't want one, but
yeah, you can get them decent.
Put a cork up its butt or what?
No, they descent it. They take all the scent and put it in a jar, and then they use it for later at the grocery store.
Fair enough. Well, that was our trivia round. Cody, you passed with flying colors. Not that there's any wrong answer, but was there more fun facts? There was.
Oh yeah. I guess I could throw out so mom's got sheep. So she has like a grazing business, and you might see or at least for all the boat posts, I tagged Woolly-Green Grazers because that's where the boat was kept at. And yeah, I mean, they have 120-ish sheep, and she just gets contracted out to graze. And so I'm always helping move sheep around, or come baby time. We'll have a bunch of little sheep running around. They're all really cute. Don't
tell my wife.
Dude, I'm mind blown. I've seen those videos where they not chain off, but fence off a big area or something, and just let them in, and they just clean house, and they turn what was an overgrown forest into this beautiful lakeside thing. I'm that looks fake, but apparently it's not, right?
No, yeah, they'll kind of depends on the property size and what kind of vegetation. But I mean, there's been times where we've let sheep, in an area, and mom would be expecting them to take, 2 days, 3 days, and they finish that in 1 day, and it's it's gone. They ate it all.
That's nuts.
Smart idea though. It's that's the task that they are set to do is actually like feeding the equipment. So it's you're like you save on feed, you save on like, and you're making money at the same time because people are paying you to do this. That's
a good point.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to look into that. I may need to get some sheep. My wife will be very happy.
Forget bait making.
Yeah, I'm gonna be a shepherd.
That's what I got,
Jesse.
Joe.
Those are some good facts, though. I like them.
Yeah.
I'm never let down whenever we get to that part with people. Everybody's got a really good fun fact. One day we'll have to share our fun facts. We haven't done that yet, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
We'll have to
Maybe
do
in
it
the
for the
next-
finale.
Or I was thinking the next Just the Boys episode since,
Or that.
well, let us know in the comments if you'd like to hear our fun facts from the Bait Boys and when you want us to do it. Do we do it in the finale or do we do it in the next season, which will be in season 2, the next Just the Boys episode? And while you're down there, why don't you hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, share it with your youth pastor. I don't care if you're 50. I don't know. That's the best thing I could come up with. But finally, Codie, thank you once again. Is there anything fun and exciting or new that's coming up from Dork Fish Tackle that our viewers and listeners should be on the lookout for?
Nothing too crazy. I do have a up north trip this weekend. Well, so we'll have to take the time machine, but this weekend for me, yeah, we're going to go up there fishing for some muskie, hang off some suckers, and see if we can get one to bite.
Nice.
Besides that, it's just, we're about to get into that slow period where it's just really, honestly, after this trip, the boat might be done for the season. So, but until, ice fishing starts up, but let's probably get back in the lab and start making some more baits. Been making bucktails and trying to get into the bigger musky lures and whatnot. So yeah, that's all coming up.
Well, we will leave links to all of Codie's social medias, websites, everything like that in the description down below. So make sure you give him a follow and check out what he's got going on over at Dork Fish Tackle. But thank you once again, Codie, for hanging out with us. We are not done with you yet. So stick around. You get to participate in the rest of the show too. Don't worry, we don't kick you out at this point. You've watched. But yeah, it's that point where we kind of move on to go around the room and see what everybody is working on right now. So guess first. So I told you we weren't done with you yet, Codie. You get to kick us off for that. What are you working on specifically right now, bait making related?
Bait making related, nothing.
Nothing.
It's been all focus on the boat.
That's
That boat was every day after work, every weekend, because it takes time for the epoxy to dry. And there's just a step by step by step. Next thing I got to do is just actually wiring the whole boat up, and she's ready to rock and roll for sure, 100%.
Well, you post regular updates on your Instagram for that, right? Like
yeah, like all
yeah. Okay.
All my little updates on it, or like all the baits, those are once the boat's done, you'll start seeing more bait pictures and videos, and maybe get back into the
cool.
tying in front of the camera again. I kind of like that.
People
Those are
love
fun
that.
to watch.
I love that.
Same. That's fun to watch. I could never do it. My hands are too big. You were talking about tying a jig skirt earlier, and then I immediately had a flashback as I struggle just to put a soft plastic on the jig because of the skirt. Like if I'm doing a soft plastic trailer, I'm like, how do I get this stupid thing out? I couldn't imagine trying to put one on. Like I don't have the patience but I love watching it, and I love like fly tying stuff. I never fly fished a day in my life, but watching people do that, yeah. So yeah, post some of those. You'll get a lot of people. I mean, you've already done it, but that's always fun to watch. Right on, Trevor. What are you up to, other than everything and traveling in time? What are you working on bait making wise?
I need to rewire my time machine. Speaking of wiring stuff, and I'm not a mathematician, but it's getting advanced. But bait wise, so I have my Raider and my Fossil, but now there's a little version.
So cute.
Of each.
Nice.
That is awesome.
So that's what I'm working on. And yeah, that's the time machine, rewiring, solving the energy kinetic crisis.
I feel like you're 80% of the way there. We all have faith in you.
I'm glad someone does. I get a lot of flack for where I invest my time.
Trevor's the reason for all those data centers going up. He's taking all that power
way to go.
from them.
Yep.
Oh man, I used to have a job where I was a data collection specialist. So you never know.
Were you one of those people that collected people's information and sold it on the dark web?
No, I was one of those people that ran up to you in public, bribed you to come back to my office with me, and then I paid you to help me with whatever data I needed help with.
Fair enough.
Didn't you do it at the mall, you said?
I did.
The mall.
It was,
That's a good place back in the day to get people.
I was 16 years old, my first job. I had a name tag that said Trevor, data collection specialist. I felt important.
Specialist.
I was a dishwasher at that age, so you were like leaps and bounds above me, man. I was specialist in nothing.
Yeah.
It was
Same.
good stuff.
Right on. Anthony, what about you? What do you got going on bait making wise?
I am working on that jerk bait. I just got some lips in. I've been playing with this the whole time. I got the circuit board lips. I 3D printed just like a tester one that's the same size, and the bait worked amazing. So I'm hoping with these in, it works amazing also, and then I'm going to try to release a jerk bait. It's like 5.5 inches. So it's a decent size one. And that's it. That's what I'd be working on if I wasn't chatting with you lovely fellers.
Well, I don't think anybody needs to guess what I've been working on. I have something to show at this point. We announced on an earlier episode that I was sending Trevor some of the probes to keep or to sell in his shop there that you see behind him. And today I finally got all the pieces for the packaging. And so I can show the official packaging. The bait's been done for a while, but the packaging has been a trial and error. But the official packaging for the probe, oh, there it is. Let me
Sick.
And this is the official Peak Baits exclusive color called Battle Boned. It's a bone with a little bit of blood on it, but it comes with the bait, the info card on the back. It has a how to fish thing, and then a probe sticker. That's
I
really
didn't
cool.
see the back. I didn't see the back in the picture you sent. You know, send it later so I can read it, but that's cool.
Yeah. I'll just send you the file. It's hard to read in a picture. It's actually way smaller than I thought it was going to be, but yeah. So that's the packaging.
That is
So if you
awesome.
buy a
That's really
probe,
cool.
that's how it'll show up. And then all 10 of the ones that I'm making for Trevor are going to be in the same packaging there. I got to find more of it because where I get them is out. I've had a lot of people reaching out to me about this packaging, and I just want to make one request. Like, let me release the bait first before you start using the same packaging that I am, because it goes along with the story of the bait. So just let me release the bait first, please, before you start sending them out. I've only had like one original idea in my life, and that's it. So give me this minute. But yeah,
Dude,
Dude, it's like a piece of art, man. That is so cool.
well, and the cool thing about these is these things are reusable. So after you close it up in there, it does kind of make some dents in the film. But all you have to do is open it up, obviously take the stuff out of it, and just hit it with a hairdryer, and it goes right back to normal. And you can repress it in there or press something else in there if you want to display it. Yeah. But it makes it look like it's floating. It's alien themed. So I wanted to make it, I spent a lot of time on the bait. I wanted to make the packaging cool too. So that's where we're at with that. I finally got to carve something today. It wasn't for one of my videos. It was actually for one of Anthony's. But yeah, carved a bird walking bait. I don't have it here. I had to seal it, and so it's sitting out there drying. But yeah.
Oh, you sealed it? You got the shellac?
Yeah, I got the shellac,
cool.
sealed it.
Nice.
Gonna send it to Anthony. Anthony, what are you doing with it?
I am going to be doing a video on 90 minutes from bait to resin prototype. That's going to be the video, not including Jesse's carving. Just silicone, from silicone pour to resin demold. So it's going to be pretty cool.
So when can we keep our eyes peeled for that?
I am
Soon?
waiting for a package from Jesse and a package from, I don't know if I should shout the company out yet. Next season.
Yeah, let's save it for next season.
We'll save it for next season, but yeah. So it's going to be a pretty cool video. 90 minutes from carved bait to resin prototype. So it's the in-between of like if you're trying to convert your wooden master into a resin bait, because you know how like the wooden bait and then resin don't always convert 1-to-1. Like they might not have the same weight placements or hook placements, whatever. So you might want to make a resin prototype. So that's going to be that video in under an hour and a half.
That sounds insane.
Not including all of Jesse's hard work.
It's only 3 hours.
When you said 90 minutes, I was nervous it was going to be a crime show or something like that.
How to commit a murder in 90 minutes.
But I do want to say, at 8:24, I heard the sirens.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
I wanted to say something.
It's 8:30 on the dot. Pretty good, right?
Very good.
So that's cool. Did you say what the bait's going to be?
Yeah,
you can say what it's going to be.
I
think it's an angry bird. It looks like a freaking cool angry bird.
It does kind of look like an angry
sick.
bird. Yeah, it's an angry bird walking bait.
And then
I'd show it, but it's drying.
This is going to be like a multi-layered release. I don't know how deep we want. We're going to have to wait and get into the next release of this angry bird walking bait. Like, this is going to have layers to it, man.
Big plans.
Like an onion.
Big plans.
It's going to be, it's like the blooming onion.
Ooh.
I'm hungry.
That's a lot of layers. Dang it. All right, fellas, it's time to close us out with our question of the week. If you have a question that you would like to have us answer on a season 2 episode of the Bait Boys podcast, leave it down in the comments below or DM it to us at Bait Boys Podcast on Instagram. This week's question, and I've got to, I'm going to read this out. I don't know if this is how it's an Instagram handle, so it's not a name. I want to say TiffFox182. TiffFox? TIFFOX. Yeah, I was wondering about that. 182 on Instagram asks, no relation, right? But it's a great question nonetheless. How do you name your lures and color schemes?
This question is a setup. Go on.
Okay, fair enough. I don't care. As always, we'll let our guests go first. So, Cody, whenever you're trying to name either a bait or a color scheme, what do you shoot for?
It's pretty simple. If it's black and blue, I name it black and blue. If it's gold and shiny, I call it a gold shiner. No, but like when you get into like the crazier colors, I don't know. Like you'll be walking downtown and you'll see something and you're like, oh, it kind of looks like the bait I just made. I'm gonna call it the swirly frog or something, like, yeah, it's really a lot of the times, like the schemes, especially, I mean, a lot of what I'm doing is trying to like match the hatch, or if I'm just going off the wall, I might just, I've got hundreds of packets of silicone tabs and I might just throw some crazy colors together and I'll let the name come to me after that. It's just, what does this look like?
Yeah, good plan. And if it looks like a golden shiner, you call it a golden shiner. Like it. Trevor, what about you? How do you name your baits? You've had some really interesting names.
All right. So I start out with throwing paint on the wall and then I read my tea leaves.
Whoa.
No, I don't. I don't know how I pick it. I think I do the bait and then I try to pick something in relation to like the color scheme, but I try to stay away from a lot of stuff I see all the time. Like, I don't want to have a bluegill, so, I got a panfish poppy.
Solid.
I like it.
But your baits also, the bait themselves have cool names, like the Summit. Like, it goes along with Peak, like
the Raider.
You got that creativity and linking things together, which is cool.
Yeah. Cool names.
There's no real secret over here. It's just on a whim, on the fly. What's it going to be?
Fair enough. Anthony, do you want to go last since you say this question is the setup?
No, I'll go now. My wonderful wife names everything for me. And I feel like I recognize this Instagram handle, and I believe this was a setup of a question. Colors, what's the name of this color? And she comes up with cool names. What should I name this bait? And she comes up with a cool name. So she has officially become the naming goddess of Lazy Baits Co. I don't come up with any names at this point. What should this be? It takes a lot of stress off of me.
Her name doesn't start with a T, does it?
Yeah, it does.
Oh,
And
okay.
and then there's an
No
I
reason.
and an F and an F.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So is
Weird.
it? Yeah. Okay. Weird.
Weird.
Strange. But yeah, I make it when I'm making a bait and naming it something, I try to make it a point to name it something that is not like if you just heard the name and you didn't know what I was talking about, you'd have no idea that I was talking about a bait. I don't know why. I just like that. Like a lot of my wood baits, it will, depending on, I've just started doing like the big stories and stuff behind them, but like I would name them, I'm trying to, of course I can think of all the names of the baits that I've made until I actually try to think of them. Like they'll just pop into my head randomly through the day, but now I can't remember any, but like Project 13 or Subject 13. Like if I said Subject 13, that's this guy. Like you don't know. And I kind of like that it's not your typical like 2 letters and a number, not no hate to anybody that does that, right? Like that there's a lot of baits out there like that, and that's fine. That's the normal way to do it. That's like kind of the industry standard. But I don't want to do that. I don't want to be the industry standard. So I always come up with weird names like the Probe or the Slim Thick or the Noggin, stuff like that. So it's when I'm naming the baits themselves. When it comes to colors, that's a little different, and I can't tell you where I come up with the ideas for the color schemes, like the names of the color schemes. I don't like to call them like bluegill and crappie. Sometimes I will if I can't think of anything better, or if I'm going like hyper realistic with something, then yeah, I'll probably call it what it's supposed to be, just in case I'm way off on what I think a bluegill looks like. I want to make sure people know it's a bluegill. You can tell because it has blue on the gills. But yeah, but whenever like the weird color schemes, I just kind of like, well, this I can't think of anything off the top of my head of what I like. The White Walker, like that. Like obviously you get that it's white, but it's culturally relevant, I guess 10 years ago with Game of Thrones, but stuff like that. So it's whatever I'm feeling in the moment. But yeah, my baits, I want to make sure that they don't sound like a bait. That's kind of my goal with all of them. I don't want it to sound like a bait.
I want to say, I am super impressed. I couldn't even listen. I was so impressed. When you pointed over your shoulder, you caught that. He nailed it. It was like, I get the wrong shoulder, wrong angle. You like absolutely nailed it. You're like Subject 13 and it's right there.
Yeah, it's right there. Yeah.
You did it again, dude.
Bait Boys Podcast.
How's he doing this?
I used to be a weather presenter on TV.
There goes your fun fact.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. That's the only qualification for that job.
You just got to be able to point at stuff you can't see.
No, and lie.
And lie, that too. Anyway, that was your question of the week. Again, if you have a question of the week that you would like for us to answer on a future episode, please leave it down in the comments below. While you're down there, don't forget to like, subscribe, share with anybody that will listen, or even if they won't, share it anyway. But that brings us to the end of what is the penultimate, that means next to last, I learned, episode of season 1. I said it right. And thank you once again, Codie, for hanging out with us. We really, really appreciate it. You're welcome back anytime. Had a great time. And I'm going to have to hit you up before my next northern trip for pike, because I love me some bladed jigs. But thank you once again for doing this. And make sure that you're following Codie on all of his social medias and check out his website, Dork Fish Tackle. We'll leave links to all of that down in the description below. But that's the end of this episode. Thank you, fellas. It's been a great time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you for sticking through with us to the end. And as always, we'll see you next time.
Good job, guys. Time to go eat.
Yeah.
I'm hungry.